Savvy Scribe Podcast,
a podcast for healthcare professionals who are interested in starting their own health writing businesses.
I'm Janine, a registered nurse and your host. I'm a labor and delivery nurse, mom to these two incredible boys, wife to my best friend, and owner of two crazy Great Danes. I help nurses discover freelance writing as an extra income opportunity with help from my guests. Join us over on Facebook in the group Savvy Nurse Writer Community or savvynursewriter.com to join our course and membership to create your own profitable writing business.
Enjoy the show.
All right, April. Welcome to the Savvy Scribe Podcast. Are you so happy you're here? I mean, you've been such a long time student and listener, so I appreciate you being here.
I know. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Did you ever think you'd be on the show?
No. And it's funny, it's coming up 1 year since I started the whole process. So I'm like, oh my gosh, this is perfect timing,
See, it's like what can happen in a year, right? So we're going to get into that. But first, I want to know a little bit about your nursing background. What year did you become a nurse? What have you done in your career? And then I want to segue into why freelance writing, what changed in life, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, so I became a nurse in 2007. I come from a very long line of nurses, like my mom, my aunt, my uncle, my grandma was a CNA, great aunt, great grandma. So it's in the blood. So I must have been influenced somehow by them. But I graduated in 2007 and went straight into the NICU, and I worked there. That's where I wanted to work. I always knew that was the kind of nursing I wanted. So I worked there for 10 years and I got tired of the weekends, holidays, 12 hours, So, and the kids were young. So I felt like I was missing so many holidays. And anyway, I went to the adult world, which is very weird for a NICU nurse to transition to the adult world.
Big.
I don't know what I was thinking, but I went to the adult world to do outpatient stuff for about 5 years. And I was very unfulfilled. I just was getting burnt out and I'm like, I don't want to be a nurse anymore. And I kind of started to look up what are my other options. And I think I was Googling remote nursing. And so, Google with their fancy tricks they do popped up, an advertisement for you on Facebook. I think it was maybe the Savvy something. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what's this nurse writer thing? So I clicked on it and I was like, this is probably a scam or something. I was kind of fishy about it. So I'm like, nurses don't write, And then through that community, I'm like, there's courses. And so then I, took the course and it was and what's funny is, so I transitioned, I was working home health. And I was doing the course and building my business. Yeah. And I was like, what do I want to write about? And I'm like, do I want to write about home health? And I'm like, no, I don't.
No, that wasn't where your heart was.
I want to write about the NICU. And so that as I was writing in the NICU, I'm like, I want to be a NICU nurse again. I realized through the writing why I hated nursing so much. I'm like, well, it's because I'm not doing my passion.
Yeah.
So it is funny how writing brought me back.
Brought you back too. Now, are you still working as NICU nurse again?
Yeah.
And what's different this time?
Well, the NICU's definitely different where I work now. It's really big and super busy and things have changed a little bit. It makes me nervous because I used to know how to be a NICU nurse. I was good at it and I'm still wait, what do I do? So kind of feel
just jumping on a bike.
Yeah, exactly. So, things change and policies are different.
Yeah.
But so I'm doing it part-time and I had to do my stint of night shift. So during all that, I had to let go of some writing clients and now I'm part-time day shift. So it's kind of perfect. I do 2 days in the NICU, and then I'm part-time writing. So
And now you're keeping up your industry experience, especially with the NICU. You even have that insider look of like, what are parents dealing with these days?
Mhm.
What kind of babies are you seeing a lot of? Like, I remember like when the drug crisis going on, like fentanyl kids were like left and right,
Mhm.
left, right. So I think too, like you're just in the trenches again going, this is what nurses are struggling with. This is what parents are struggling with, giving you more and more ideas for
Yeah.
NICU type of clients for writing. So I think it all works hand in hand. And I like that you went back, because I think the goal for a lot of nurse writers isn't to completely leave the bedside. We're just looking for a way out. We're looking for something else that we can do on the side, so we're not picking up those shifts and you're not getting burnout and you're not working extra night shifts and missing everything for your kids. And I like how you got that delicate balance that you were searching for.
I know I've had people say, so how are you just part-time? Like, how can you just be part-time?
Yep.
I'm like, I got another job. That's why.
And they're like, oh,
I'm
do
a
a what?
writer.
And they
I know
always
I'm
do
a
that.
writer, and they're like, you're a what? Say
Do what? I want to do that. Okay, then go ahead and do it. And then they go, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And you found out that, Savvy Nurse Writer wasn't a scam. And here we are.
Yeah,
It's all good.
exactly.
But the other thing too is and excuse me, we'll get into a really cool client you landed. But tell me a little bit about going back to night shift. Is it different on nights again?
It was awful. I was like trying to be, really positive, and I'm saying, oh, it's going to be better this time because my kids aren't babies. When I first started, I was pregnant, I had babies, and I was breastfeeding. I didn't have blackout curtains. I had windows everywhere. So it was awful. Like I was falling asleep at night, and so this time I'm like, they're older and I have blackout curtain, and I was being positive, but
No.
nights I don't do well. I can't do
No.
it.
No, it doesn't matter. Yeah, I think I look
Yeah.
back at those days and it's like, how did I do it? Like, but I think the difference is you got out of it and then you went back. Like, I think when you're in it, you don't realize that nausea feeling you have 24/7 isn't normal. Like, you forget how
Yeah.
tired you are. And because that's what I did. Like, I went straight from nursing school to night shift. So that constant like stress never left. So
Mhm.
going to night shift was just like part of the thing. You just do it. And yeah, you're
Mhm.
tired, but that's for everybody's tired of that. But to have to go back at it after you've been on day shift and you're like, you feel clear in your head, and it doesn't matter how old the kids are, you're exhausted. It's not
Yeah.
healthy.
Like after my nights, I'd be like, all right, I gotta go grocery shopping tomorrow.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it. Like I was
No,
on the
it's
couch
exhausted.
and I'd be like falling asleep, and nobody's cooking dinner. And my son, good thing he knows how to start cooking now. He like
Yeah.
jumped in and was cooking because
Thank
I'm on the
God.
couch just like dead.
I know. I remember I would sleep. I'd come home, take the kids to school. No, the one was still nursing and a newborn. And I remember like dropping him off, coming home, nursing the other one. And I had like this like nanny who I paid way too much money for just so I could go to bed. And she stayed at my house. Literally, I'm upstairs, but somebody to be with the baby so I can nurse him again in 3 hours. And because if not, I just wake up so engorged because you didn't feed the baby. So like I was gonna be up anyway. So I might as well feed the baby. So oh my God, those days I'm like, how the heck? And then
It's
I'd wake up
hard.
at like 1:30, 2 o'clock, and it was like the best cup of coffee I ever had in my entire life every day. And then go get Zach off the bus. And it was like, here we go again. And then
There you
make
go.
dinner and do the homework and head to work. And I'm like, I'd always get like this second win when I got to work, because I was like, here you go. Like, you gotta, it's a long time to go back to bed. So you better suck it up.
Better wake up. I know it was like 3 a.m. where I'd start
Oh,
questioning my nursing
life
skills. 'Cause
decisions.
I'm like, this is not safe for me. I need to get to
No,
bed.
I was always good at work. Always like 5:30, I'd like hit a wall, I'd get a cup of coffee. But like, it was that drive home, and it didn't matter how far or close I was to my house, I was Like, I don't remember getting there. I remember like trying to talk on the phone. I couldn't have a talker on the phone. I had to be the one talking because if not, I fell asleep. It was like,
Stay awake.
you do it all, right? You turn the radio on, you put down the windows in the middle of winter, you eat ice, like whatever, all the things. Gosh,
Yeah.
I don't want to go back.
Yeah, it's hard.
So going back to the writing thing. So you did part of the course. You started like with the plan. How long do you think it was till you landed your first client?
It felt really fast. Because I didn't even finish the course. I remember, if I could do it over, I would do the whole course.
Yeah.
Then go back and do it step by step. Like I was planning as I was going through the course, which is fine. That works too.
Yeah, it worked out.
Yeah, but like suddenly as I'm still doing the course, I'm like reaching out to clients and it's like, oh my God, this person wants me to work for them. I don't know what to do. And I think
where's that module and discovery call?
yeah, it's like, how do I do this? What am I doing? So it didn't take long. And I think because of the job board too, which is awesome, your job board. I mean, that's how we can get our first samples. It's like really genius idea.
Oh, there you go.
So I had something through the job board and LinkedIn. I mean, I've only gotten clients through LinkedIn.
Yeah.
I've never, and I'm not even good. I'm glad you had that little thing earlier about pitching because I really haven't pitched emails.
Yeah.
I'll send connect requests on LinkedIn and I don't know if it's
luck.
Yeah. And it's like I get these clients, so I haven't even had to do pitching.
A lot of the email. Yeah. And you'll notice it's because you have that healthcare background. A lot of times the email pitching stuff, it's a lot of times what a lot of generalist writers do because they're just reaching out to anything. But a lot of times we do have that competitive advantage in a sense for LinkedIn because we're used to people searching for health writers, and they're like a nurse and a health writer. Holy cow, this is like jackpot. And that's a lot of times what you hear clients say. They get on a call and they're like, this is just great. Like this is just wonderful to have a subject matter expert and a health writer. So yeah, I think LinkedIn is still always the best place to go for sure. But there's multiple ways to get clients and that, email pitching is just another one. But thankfully,
I don't think I'm very good at that one. And like I was saying, my stuff goes to spam. So I need to figure that out. I don't know. That's a problem when you're trying to pitch.
It is. Yeah, it is for sure. Yeah. And like I said, usually it's that like bigger companies, like they have those spam filters set up and then we can't get in unless they know us already. That's what I do. I usually send an email and then I'll go on LinkedIn and find them on LinkedIn and connect and leave a little note. Hey, sent you an email. And sometimes it works. You never know.
Yeah.
So I want to know too. Let's jump into the client that you landed that I think is just so cool. I was telling so many people I know about this client. So tell us how you got them and then reveal the name.
Okay. So one day I was, sitting on the couch. I do a lot of couch writing.
That's what's so cool about it too. You can take your computer anywhere you want.
Yeah, I'll like turn on a movie I've watched forever and I just start writing whatever article. But I get this email. Yeah, and it's like it said like I need a nurse writer. And I'm like, And so I clicked it open. I'm like, this is spam. I'm like, you're right. And then as I'm reading, I'm like, oh, wait, maybe it is him. So I replied, I'm like, yeah, I'm open to freelance work. Sure, let's talk. And then set up a call and I already knew his voice. So I'm like, it is him. I'm like, okay. Because I totally thought it wasn't real or something. Yeah. But it was for Nurse Blake. And it was pretty awesome. And he found me on LinkedIn. So it was like one of those situations where I haven't had to do this pitching and it was LinkedIn. I don't know, of all the nurses on there, he found two of us. Yeah, me and another Maggie. She's the other person editing and writing.
That's so cool. And it's so cool that he personally reached out to you.
Yeah,
I would have thought like it would have been his team.
Really him? Yeah. So we did our video call and it was him and I'm like, oh, and so it all just went really fast. It was like,
Yeah,
no
it did.
question, he's like, all right, let's do it. So he has a new magazine coming out, the Nurse Blake magazine, and he wants only like nurse writers on there.
Uh-huh.
And
So
right
tell
now,
me, like, let's do a little plug for Nurse Blake because he deserves it. Tell
He
us
does.
what that magazine's like gonna cover. Like, what are the type of stories?
Yeah, so he wants it to be just it's basically for nurses, healthcare providers. They're in the break room, they're at home,
Yeah.
open it up, fun stuff about nursing. We do a lot of the Nurse Con at Sea recap. So like we have all these pictures from the cruise, and that's the cruise that he created Nurse Con app, which is like a free CEU site, and there's like boards where you can connect with nurses from all over the world. And then from there, he started the Nurse Con at Sea, which is the cruise ship for continuing education. And it's not all about continuing education, let me tell you.
Why don't you tell us? Because didn't you just join them on it?
Yeah, so Blake needed me to go on there and do like interviews and get the experience so that I can write for the next magazine issue coming up and do the recap and have interviews. So I got to go on the cruise, and that was amazing. It was my first cruise ever, but this one's different. There's no kids.
Yeah.
It's all like nurses and their friends and family and other healthcare. There's like respiratory.
Did you know anyone going on it?
No, none of my nursing friends went
Yeah.
on it. I'm like, come on, you guys.
So were you a little nervous, like going out there, going, I don't know anybody, so figure this
Well,
out.
I got to take a +1, so I took my sister.
Oh,
And
nice.
she's not a nurse. She's in the healthcare field, so she knows all about how weird
That's
we are,
awesome.
But she and I got to go on it together, and it was a blast. And nurses know how to party.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah,
Yes,
I was
we
like, this
do.
is fun. So
This is crazy.
it was crazy. I mean, it was just nonstop fun. And what's great about it is it's all for nurses. So
Yeah.
the shows were all something I'm interested in. You get to see the Nurse Blake live, which is hilarious. And everything's revolved around our field. So it was a great experience. And
That's
then I
awesome.
got CEUs on top of it. So
Right. Yeah, I was telling you before we started recording, I'm gonna go see him in October, and I'm like so excited because I just think he's so hilarious, and he's so
hilarious.
real. Like it's the break room,
He
the
is. Yeah.
Nurse Becky, all the things.
And I was like getting to meet him and everything, I'm like, how is he in real life,
Right?
And he's so genuine, like
Yeah, 'cause he's a
genuine,
nurse,
sweet, nice, funny, laid back. I'm like, this is great.
Yeah.
So it's a great client to have. And it's such a different type of writing. So I'm used to writing about constipation and babies.
Right.
And you're like, you have to find your resources, and you're doing your symptoms and treatment and med, and it gets, it's all kind of the same. So this is like super fun. Like we cuss in the magazine. It's all like laid back, positive, fun nursing stuff. It's great.
I love it. And this is something too, because I mean, you are an on-site journalist. If you think of it that way, this is opening up opportunities for you, April, where you could go to conferences. And as long as you just did what you did with the interviewing and stuff, that's a way to get in with like, you could have a journalist or a media pass and write articles for different publications that are covering the conferences, and you get in for free. So put that on your things to do, because
I should do that.
definitely
Yeah.
a way to get more exposure for yourself.
Although it's funny, I bought this super cute little recorder. I'm like, this is gonna work fine. And I learned how to do it and everything. I'm like, this is what I'll use. Do you think I ever remembered to bring it
out of the room?
No. I'm sitting there with my cell phone. I'm like, oh my God, you dork. But
did it work?
It worked just fine.
Yeah. I didn't even need it. So, I mean, this is such a great success that you've had. And, I know you're no different than me. We're not special. We're not anything any other nurse is, but we were able to forge our way and do this. So I think if there's any advice you could give to somebody who's brand new at this, what would it be?
I think it's to plan. I think planning is a big part. I didn't do much planning. I just dived right in and which it works too,
It works,
but
yeah.
if I could do it again, I'd plan. And I think if I planned, I could have done more of like a full-time writing. So like have money saved up so that, because when you're a freelancer, it's not, you never know, you could
Right.
have clients and then it could end and then you move on to new ones. So it's
Yep.
like, if I had that money saved up where there was that cushion, then I wouldn't have to rely on my nursing in the hospital. So if I could do it again, I would have done that and maybe tried doing it full time, but it works for now. I'm happy what I'm doing.
Yeah, and you can always bank the money you're getting at the hospital to, eventually take this full time if that's your wish. But
And
I
just
think
think
that's a good idea.
And like the more clients you have that's on your portfolio, the more opportunities open up. So it's like, I'm fine just doing the part-time and getting this experience slowly. And, that works, and keep adding to my
Were you ever
portfolio.
scared to like write, like your skills of writing?
Oh yeah. Like I was like, I don't know how to write. I don't remember. I don't know where to put the commas. Like who cares about commas anymore? So I took the writing course too that was in there. And that was really helpful.
Good.
And then I never even knew about Grammarly. I didn't know any of that stuff.
Yeah.
So I had to learn all about, there's an app to help with this. It's like a miracle.
There's so many things. I mean, you didn't know probably about ClickUp. You probably didn't know about everything that Google's capable of.
And I'm not techie. Like that's my husband. It's like annoying how not techie I am. And it's like, I figured it out.
Look at you now, owning your own online writing business. Now, I have to ask too, with your family of nurses and you going into this venture, what was their response?
They all seem pretty proud. Like I'll put my articles up.
Oh yeah, grandma's like
they're like proud of me. And then I'm like, I'm gonna work for Nurse Blake. So I think and I even know some people who, one person, she's actually doing it. She's a friend of my sister's. And so she kind of went into the course, and I just think it's fun, and
it is.
People don't even realize that you could do that. Most people are like, I didn't know nurses can write.
Yeah. It's like, well, why can't we?
And that's something like I never thought how you Google something and all this stuff pops up. Somebody wrote every word that pops up and they got paid
for it because nobody's doing it for free. So
I never realized that. Like
because we're not in a field where we would know that. Like the whole like creative area, we weren't exposed to that in nursing school. So it was just like our direct path to nursing, go to a hospital. So to have an opportunity to be away from the bedside, but still enjoy nursing. And, that's the goal. That's the goal. It's like, we're looking for a way out in the sense of flexibility, and you found it. So congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
I hope you give some inspiration to others. I think you will. And is there anything else you want to add?
No, I mean, I just want to thank you because I wouldn't be where I'm at, without you and your expertise and the course and the community. I mean, the community is great. And I've made great nursing friends just through, we were going through the course together, so.
Yeah, we're all like nerding out together. It's a different kind of group.
It is. We should have our own little cruise, a nurse writers get together.
Oh, that'd be great. Goals.
Yeah.
Well, April, I thank you so much for your time, and stick with it. I think you're going to go far with this. I'm so proud of you, and I've loved watching your journey along the way. It's been an inspiration, not only, and it just, I'm so proud. Like, I'm just so proud of when people get results. So thank you. And I look forward to reading Nurse Blake's magazine and knowing that one of our writers did it. Like, this is awesome. So
it's coming out soon. Should be here. Like, it's going to press any day now.
Gosh. So, How exciting. Well, thank you again, and we'll talk soon.
All right, sounds good.
That's a wrap for today's episode of the Savvy Scribe. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed today's show, we'd love for you to subscribe and leave a review on iTunes or your favorite podcast app. Until next time.